gymnasts perform in the 90s. We'll head to the mountains in search of gold.
Using this format, I think we can still be competitive internationally with still having fun during our lifetime or younger years.
In South Carolina, they've got the means to run the ball. Monty Means is who they give it to when they need to get into the end zone.
I like the big play, but I like to take the short pass and try to make a big play out of it.
It's the biggest basketball event of the offseason. Only the best get an invitation to Nike Camp. And you don't need ice and snow to get a taste of a hot wintertime sport. Hello, everyone. I'm Dan Debenham. Welcome to Scholastic Sports America here on ESPN. This week, we're in Colorado Springs, Colorado. It's here in the heart of the Rocky Mountains that we're checking out some of the top young gymnastic talent in the country. Scholastic Sports America is coming up. ESPN presents the youth of America doing their best on Scholastic Sports America. ESPN Scholastic Sports America is brought to you by McDonald's, getting more for your money. That's McDonald's today. By the Coca-Cola Company and your local Coca-Cola bottler. And by 10K. All you've got to be is thirsty. Hey, Adrian? Hey, have you guys seen Adrian?
No.
No? Have you seen Adrian Karsten?
Oh, that big blonde guy?
Yeah, big guy.
I think I heard him say he was going to the gymnastics meet.
That's right. Thanks a lot. I forgot. Adrian said that he was checking in on who may or may not make our 1992 Olympic gymnastics squad.
Now, we don't claim to be able to foretell the future, but if you want a general idea of what our men's Olympic gymnastics team will look like 5 years from now, gaze deeply into these faces. This prediction is really the result of consulting with the past. It was about 25 years ago that the United States Gymnastics Federation began holding camps like this 2-week workout at the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs. The goal of the coaches has remained the same, to prepare our junior national team to compete for medals. The intention of the talent hasn't changed either. These young men are perfectionists.
I think gymnastics helps in that aspect. It teaches you discipline, listening to what your coach has to say and refining the little points, and that's what it takes to be, the best in the world.
We have a grassroots level, a developmental team, the junior national team. So they're really at the stage now they're going to start moving forward towards our elite program, and that's the purpose of them being here, is preparing for that.
This camp came about because our gymnastic coaches agreed that if we were ever going to be able to develop a dynasty in the Olympics like the Japanese saw in the 60s or that the Soviets savor now, we'd first have to compete on a consistent level. That consistency may come from 15-year-old J.D. Reeve, soon to be a sophomore who has moved from New Jersey to Colorado Springs. Or it may come from Kerry Houston, from Houston, who's been training for this time in his life since he was 7 years old.
Sometimes during practice we just go all out, and there's not too much polish to it, just go, as hard as we can. Then later on we'll transform that into polish, but first you have to learn the skill sometime, and there's different ways of learning tricks.
Kerry is kind of the big man on camp. His amazing strength makes him the most physically mature and the only one here with thoughts of Barcelona in '92. He knows what to demand of himself because he knows the demands of gymnastics.
Gymnastics takes the most athletic ability of any other sport there is, because you got to be so well rounded, so well, and they got to be strong in every position, not just in one position. Like a football player just has to hit somebody, and baseball player just has to concentrate on hitting the ball, and in gymnastics you got to be so well rounded, you got to be flexible, and just it takes a lot more athletic ability.
Every athlete here has his own goals for improvement. But these guys realize that it's going to be their individual efforts that reflect Team USA.
Is there a team feeling here, or are you?
Yes, definitely.
There is.
A lot of these guys have been to many camps with them, and it's like we're really good friends now, and then we're all from all over the United States. So it's becoming a really good team feeling.
You can see that these guys feel good together, and they've taken that team feeling to their tutors, the guys who have already passed through this program.
The junior gymnasts are starting to compete with the senior gymnasts pretty evenly, and
does that scare them a little bit?
I think it does a little bit, but it's definitely fun to compete with the senior gymnasts. like an Olympic festival last week, competing with senior gymnasts was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun is exactly right. Granted, these guys are here to work, but they can't convince me it isn't fun flying head first into foam rubber.
You know, whether it's trying to break even on the uneven bars or turn backflips off the springboard, the whole idea of having this camp is to give these guys the best opportunity to win medals at the Olympic Games and to get themselves out of a hole some of these guys say they've been in since the '88 Games in Seoul.
Just like most other things in life, everything is a cycle. And 84, we were at the top of our cycle. 88, we weren't quite at the top of our cycle. We've come a long ways. We've come a long ways. We're back on the way up. I think 92, I'm not sure if we're going to be at the peak yet, but 93, 94, through the 96 games, I think we'll be at the top of our game.
Getting these gymnasts to the top of their game is the coach's responsibility. And we witnessed some of the most constructive, individualized instruction we've ever seen. But with that compliment comes a challenge, and the coaches know it, especially one who knows what it's like to be the best in the world.
What the difficult part of this is that the country is so big, and we're in a democratic society where everybody has to agree to do and move toward the one direction. Now, it takes time.
You got to go to school.
That's correct. And the school is one of the most important part of the growing up as a youth. And then the gymnastics cannot be totally dominating the youth life. So we have to compromise so much, but eventually we knew that we're going to figure it out what system will serve the best for us. And I think we did that.
The idea that puts some pressure on the junior team is that even though we may train differently, the expectations fans have of the athletes may be higher than anywhere else in the world.
Everybody wants to win a medal, that's great, but I think we make it well aware to them that having potential is one thing and winning is another. You have to utilize your potential. I think they're well aware of that just having the potential is not enough. You have to really apply yourself. You're going to have to work hard. There's always going to be somebody trying to beat you, and there's always going to be somebody better. And so I think it's more of a challenge to them to win the medals, and I think they're motivated by that challenge rather than the expectation that's being placed on that you have to win.
Now, the scenery here suggests the kind of countryside where past Olympic powers would polish their medal form. But this is Colorado in the shadow of Pikes Peak, as in Purple Mountain's majesty. Around here, locking them up in a stalag is so much sauerkraut. We asked one athlete to consider the comparison.
We will take Jason and we'll put him in our barracks here, and we will educate him, we will train him, we will feed him, we will make him ready for 1996. Is it the same attitude here?
Not really. It's kind of like the coming here, you learn new techniques and stuff, and you take it home, and you still have your social life at home and everything, but you still, if you're really dedicated, you still work on the correct techniques and try to improve as hard as you can, and it's more relaxed, kind of.
The junior national team will camp here for 2 weeks at a time, 3 times a year, and then go home to practice at their private club. But wouldn't it be better to keep it all here in Colorado Springs? The system seems to be kind of inconsistent.
It is kind of inconsistent because, you know, techniques change, and then you come back, you learn new techniques, you take them home and try them again. I don't consider it inconsistent. I think it's a way of learning in a different way.
It may be a different way, but these guys are willing to go any way that will lead them to Atlanta in '96. They're coming out of these camps, some of them having worked hard reaching for these rings. But these are the rings they're all reaching for.
Well, Adrian, I missed you, man.
Back.
You missed a great pool, but I guess you saw some great gymnastics.
Let me tell you something, Dan. The most impressive thing about gymnastics, remember the iron cross? I saw these guys doing this afternoon. They get on those rings.
Yeah. Why don't you work on your iron cross? Good. While Adrian works on his iron cross, you go ahead and check out our latest Scholastic Sports America Super 10 football poll. Stay down. Check it out. Commercial.